accept data, how to display data, how to manage data with the help of array. Array has some drawbacks. So, they offered new feature called collections. So what is the disadvantages of array? So that the same thing going to be offered as advantages in the collections. That is what the new thing here in this topic. So before proceeding to collections, as like other topics, we first analyze what is the problem with the existing stuff, and then we will see what is that advantage. Okay, so disadvantages of array. Indirectly, you can say those are all advantages of collections. So as the word says, it's a collections of any data or objects or anything, currently you are holding into any information, you can say. So it can be a primitive type information, or it can be object, it can be any other element that holds the data. What they did, they defined a separate namespace inside system. Okay, usually always we say using system at the top. So they have defined one library called system.collections. So you have to use the namespace at the top using system.collections, semicolon. So this will have all the related classes which is going to offer this facility. So we can contrast with array. As I said, array is having some demerit, and that we are going to fulfill in collections. So before going to collections and implementing them, we will see what are all disadvantages of array. Same points we can consider as good thing about collections. First point, good things about array, we have seen many. It can hold various data. It can, time to time it can offer it. It can manipulate the data. If you want, you can sort it ascending, descending, whatever. So those are all good things about array we have seen when we compared with variable. Now comparing to array, collection is having better one. So we have to understand what are they. So first is static allocation of memory. What do you mean? If you define 10 elements, it will maximum allow up to 10 elements. If you define it 20 elements, maximum it will allow up to 20 elements. That is what the static allocation of the memory. It may give you less, but it will not give you more. Then comes single data type. Whichever data type you define to the array, it will allow only that. Third is, like suppose somebody says, I want to store my name as well as my marks and my results. So variety of data types. But array will say, no, you have to define the data type while declaring the array. Third point is index-based manipulations. When you say index, it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, cell number in an array. So usually disadvantages of index-based manipulation is if you are manipulating the data for some purpose, like somebody says, I want to make it ascending or I want to make it descending, etc. So in such case, the index will not be constant. When you store the data, chances that the index is 7, but after a small manipulation, the index become 5 or 10 also. It depends. So I cannot trust always one index to manipulate the data. That is the disadvantages. Fourth one is static memory management. What do you mean? Imagine I have an array and I have 10 elements in the array. I want to delete 7th element. Okay, understand the scenario. Out of 10 elements, I wanted to delete the 7th element. So, in case of array, deleting some element means nullifying the data. That means if I deleted the 7th element, automatically 8th element will not come to the 7th position. That means that 7th element will still make some memory wastage. So that is the difference between disposing the data and cleaning the data. When I clean the data, it will still have some value called null, null null, and it will still have some memory allocation as per the data type. But when you dispose the data, it will not only clean the data, 25, 29, whatever it is, or somebody's name, not only clean that data, but that particular memory location, it will release to be used for other purpose. So array says, if you have reserved 10 elements, let's say, if you have reserved 10 elements like this, integer square bracket array equal to new integer of square bracket 10. If you have done like this, later on you gave some value, 10 different values, and somebody is deleting one value in between, I will not bother. Still I will allocate 10 elements only. So static memory management side effect is you are losing some memory unnecessarily. Even though you have deleted the data, but that memory is still allocated, because extremely at the top of the program, perhaps we have written something like this. So it doesn't bother whether you have given a data also or not. Simply you declared it and it is reserving that much memory. Okay, so it is not thinking that, hey, data has not yet given, why should I allocate the memory? But it says, no, I allocate the memory also statically and I manage the memory also statically. Somebody deleted the 7th one. If 8th one could have come to 7th position and 9th one could have come to 8th position and so on, then last position could have been free for other purpose. So these are all some expectation, but array says I cannot give it. So collection is going to justify this. Disadvantages point to advantages. So if you write here array versus collection, then these 4 points, you will see that we get these things better in collections, but not offered in array. So so collection means collection of the data, just like array, but offering features better than an array. So these 4 points what we discussed, it has to be overcome by the collection. So same 4 points I can write in a different manner. That will be the advantages of collections. For example, first is static allocation of memory, I will say versus dynamic or dynamic allocation. Similarly, array says you have to define the data type. Okay, without a data type, you cannot declare one array. That means which data type you declare, as per that data type, you have to enter the data. But collection says, don't worry, you don't need to bother. I'm not specific to a data type, so not specific to any predefined data type. Today, you are giving me 25 as your roll number. Tomorrow, you are giving me your name. Absolutely fine. In 0th element, I can store your roll number, and in 1 element, I can store your name, and in 2 element, I can store your address. In 4 element, 5 elements, I can store different variety of the data if necessary. Similarly, index-based manipulation, usually we say in array, but collection says, if necessary, you can simply ignore the indexes. If you want, you can do index-based manipulation, what array is offering. If you want, you can also ignore the index-based manipulation. That means that 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, by default, it is offering, right? As you store the data, it says either you want to depend upon them, it's fine if your work is happening. If your work is hampering because of that index, like you said, when you made ascending or descending, the index gets changed. Then how can I trust on the index? So in such case, you can use something called key value pair. Okay, let it be there 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't use them, just ignore them. You only enter key and you only enter value. That means you can say my key is something like serial number or my roll number, and my value is something like name. So if that value is coming down or going up because of the ascending or descending or swapping value, replacing value, removing value, any manipulation, then that key will also go along with that value. So because of that, key value pair manipulation is better than index-based manipulation. So right side what I wrote, those are all offered by collection. That's why everywhere I'm writing versus this. That means indirectly saying array versus collections. Static allocation, static memory management. So here I can say versus dynamic memory management. So how to see these things practically? So let's create one solution. We know how to declare one array, but we don't know how to declare a collection. We know how to initial value to array, but we don't know how to initialize value to collection. So let's do similar activity what we did in array, and we'll see how it is better than array from these 4 points, keeping in mind. So console application. Using collections. Using collections is the project name. So whatever activity we are doing with collections, we have to compare these 4 points every time, whether we are going better comparing to array. So first is declaration part. So let's create a function. And as I said, extremely at the top of the program, you have to use system.collections, right? So there is a class called ArrayList inside collections namespace, and we have to create object of that ArrayList class. This name you can give anything. Okay, I give ARR_LST. Like in case of array, I was giving simply ARR. Here I give ARR_LST, ArrayList, little short form. But you can give anything. Suppose you want to have students information, you can give students info also, no problem. But don't give XYZ, ABC. You give some meaningful name. So I said student info. Okay, you can see the naming convention. I started with small letter, and every word first letter here onwards will be capital. Just a convention, not a restriction. If somebody is writing in capital letter like this also, it's okay. It will not an error, but not a good convention. As per Microsoft naming convention, any class variable, class property, they should be something like this: S capital, I capital, student info. If it is in the class level. If it is a temporary level, temporary means inside the function as a local variable or local object or local array, local collection. So inside that function, then first letter just make it small. Other words, every first letter will be capital, others will be small, something like that. So my student info become the object of ArrayList, which can hold so many data like students' roll number, students' name, students' marks, etc. So if I could have declared one array for that, then perhaps I could have declared like this. If I will say integer, then stud info equal to new integer, square bracket 10, and so on. I'm just comparing. I will delete this line later. So comparing this line and this line, you can easily see two things. Out of 4 points, 2 points you can easily see. What is that? Static allocation of the memory. You just see here. If I will remove this 10 or 5 or 7, I'll simply say square bracket open and close. It will give me error. Okay. So it will say, this is not allowed. You have to tell me how many maximum value you want to say. So if you don't know, also forcefully you have to unnecessarily reserve some memory like this. You have no idea 10 or 15 or 20, but unnecessarily you get 50 because you have confusion with the number of students or number of data. So this is called static allocation of the memory. Unnecessarily you are allocating the memory statically without having the idea that how many data I am going to store. But think about this, nothing like that. If I want to say here, for your understanding, I am contrasting, guys. Array part, I will delete it later. So here, if you want to say student info, stud info, square bracket 0 equal to 90, suppose you are storing. Same 90 here also you can store. But here, it is not forcing me to have 10 or 20 or how many elements to be defined. This is called first point, static allocation of the memory versus dynamic allocation of the memory. Here, if I will enter 100 numbers also, 90, then 50, then 20, it's fine. But here, if I will enter more than 50, it will say, no, you have to go and increase that number, then only you can enter more than 50 numbers. Okay. So about array, we all know, but still I'm repeating here just for a contrast. So first point justified, that I don't need to inform at the beginning that how many values I'm going to store. Single data type, you can see here, we are defining explicitly data type. So single data type, for a layman's understanding, but you can say it as little technically, data type has to be specific. Where? In the array. But sometimes we will say, hey, I have no idea what data type data may come. Maybe name will come from string type, roll number will come from integer type. How can I say integer permanently? So array will say, no, I cannot help it. Any one data type you have to mention here. So that is the second point. Third point says index-based manipulation. Index-based manipulation means anything you want to do with this array, you should know the index of that value. If somebody says, please delete this 90, then you have to tell that 90 is available in which index, first tell me, then only I will delete it. But here it will say, you have two provision. If you want just like array, you can delete zeroth value, because it is in zeroth value. First value means zeroth value. If you have no idea about index, you can delete or you can replace, you can find, you can search. Any manipulation you can do with the help of value directly. Okay, you can say conditions apply time to time. Sometimes index, sometimes value you may work. But yeah, you have two provisions here. Manipulation can be key value pair. So I wrote versus key value pair and index based. I will write or index based, because either this or this. So can I say what my array is offering, which is index based manipulation, that is offered by my collections also, but additionally it gives sometimes key value. Key value pair we will see in next collection. We have something called hash table. So in array list, it doesn't offer key value pair based, it still offers index based. Fourth point is dynamic memory versus static memory allocation. Sorry, not allocation part, management part. So let's have two things here. Student info 1 equal to say 76. Okay. But here I can also say student info dot add. Add is a function inside array list class. Here everything object oriented. So object of array list class is calling a function called add. It is taking the argument called 76. Okay, so everything object oriented. Here everything primitive. That means you have to define how many elements, accordingly it will go on giving 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 like that, and you have to manage it. So here let's have one more. Student info of 2 equal to suppose 60. Here also I said student info dot add 60. Okay, this time I'm focusing about the last point, static memory management. When you say memory management, it is managing the elements. Okay, if I will open one Excel sheet for a better understanding. Suppose I have an array like this, and I have a collection like this. Suppose this is my array ARR, and this is my collection ARR LST array list. So here I have some value, suppose like this. Here also I have some value. Let me copy paste it. Absolutely fine, possible. I deleted this 54 here. What I deleted? I deleted the value 54. Suddenly it will nullify it. This is called nullifying the data. Because extremely at the top of the program, you might have declared already 5 elements. So your compiler doesn't have rights to remove this particular element permanently. It will say still value has been deleted, no problem, but that element still occupies the memory because it has been already defined with 10 elements or 5 elements, whatever elements at the top of the program. But here you don't need to define how many elements. You go on adding more and more, it will go on expanding more and more. Not only that, if you are deleting here 54, then what will happen? This 66 will come here and this 90 will come here, and this last element will be completely removed from the memory, so that memory location can be utilized for other purpose. So like in Excel sheet also, sometimes you are deleting one row, suddenly what happens? Just check it out. Suppose I deleted this row called 14. Then what happens suddenly? That below data suddenly comes up, na? Okay. It never have a gap in between after deleting a row. Similar way, our collections also doing that way. But when we say array, it is saying no, I have allocated 10 elements means always 10 elements. Whether you delete all the data, I don't bother. Whether you delete all the data also, I don't bother. If 10 elements into 4 equal to 40 bytes, without entering anything also, it will be 40 bytes allocated. So that is what disadvantages we are talking about. So let's see if I will remove what happens here in my, these things, what we say, array list. So there is a function called remove, like add is there as a function. In array list class, there is something called remove also. But here what to say, you simply either nullify if it is nullable, or you provide 0 if it is, not nullable. But here, since everything object oriented, so they provide various functions for various manipulations. So you can say here student info dot remove. Okay. If I will say remove 76, it will remove as per the value. If I will say remove at 0 and 1, it will remove as per the index. So you have both value based manipulation as well as index based manipulation. So suppose I am deleting 76, I have to write remove at 1. If I am sure these values are not repeating, then I can say remove simply also, like 76. Remove 76 or remove at 1, both are having same meaning in this case. Why should I say remove at 1? Because I have doubt, who knows, 76 might be appearing 2 times. Okay. So if I will say remove at 1, that means 1 index. So this will remove 76. After that, if you check, it will say count is now 2. So suppose here I will say console.writeLine number of elements in collection my array list name is student info dot count. There is a property called count. So count is a property in array list class. Add is a function in array list class. Remove, add, remove, these are all also function in array list class. So everything here in the form of object, function, property, etc. That means object oriented. So before removing one line, I will write how many count, and after removing one line, I will write how many count. So let me remove this array. It was just for your comparison purpose. So that was not collection. Our collection is a class always. So here array list is a class which is inside the collections namespace defined by Microsoft. So that means indirectly we are saying it is a collection class. So let me call this function here in main and see what happens in which line. So put a breakpoint here in the line number 15. First it will come here and declare the collection object, line number 15. So as of now, it has not been allocated any memory. You can see null. So the moment you created the object of that collection class, now count is 0, no doubt, but at least null has gone. That means instantiation has come. Instantiation means allocating the memory. But now data has not yet given. That's why that memory, we cannot say 10 or 20 or 30 or how many. So I give first data. Then I will check what happened to my collection object. Can you see? 0 value, zeroth value is 90. Similarly, 1 value is 76. Similarly, 2 value is 60. Not only that, if you want, you can add somebody's name also in the same collection. Zeroth value, 0 index value is 90, which is integer. 1 index, 2 index also integer. Suppose I want to have 3 index as somebody's name, that is also possible here. That is what our second point, comparison point says. Specific to data type versus flexible in data type. So now, if I will see this count, it will say 3. Have a look. Student info dot count is equal 3. So now if I will display, before removal, it displays number of elements as of now is 3. Then what I did, I removed index number 1. I removed index number 1. Now go and check what happened to this collection. So previously 90, 76 and 60 was there, isn't it? 90, 76 and 60 was there. I deleted the middle one. Don't you think here 2 index value called 60 has automatically jumped to 1 index value? If it could be array, then no. It will say, no. I will nullify your data because you removed middle one. But before removal also 3 elements, after removal also 3 elements only. That is called dynamically managing memory locations. Okay. So now if I will say F10, it will say after removal, your number of elements is 2. So for better understanding, you can write that sentence that way. So before removal of index 1 data, the number of elements in collection is so and so. Similarly, before removal of index 1 data, the number of elements in the collection is so and so. So this is what the justification of the fourth point. So if you will compare all these 4 points, you can say apart from this index-based manipulation versus key value pair, we have achieved all 3 other points: static allocation, static memory management, and type specific, data type specific. So these 3 points already we justified. But as of now, we couldn't justify it. Third point, because here also you are doing index-based manipulation only. Can you see line number 22? It is still doing just like in array also you are always giving index to display, to remove, to nullify, to fetch, to store the data, whatever you do, but you do through indexes. Here also we did through indexes. Now, what is that variety of class that will help us? That third point as well. Index-based manipulation as well, suppose we need it. So how to achieve this point? Here you cannot achieve in array list. So array list is a collection class that offers 3 advantages comparing to array. That means why not we will take it extremely last so that it will be more understandable. I give a gap here. That means one category of collection is there which will offer you only 3 advantages. And another category of collection you will get which will offer all 4 to 4 advantages. So let me write a note. Array list offers first 3 advantages comparing to array. Second point, hash table. There is another class called hash table. Offers all 4 advantages comparing array. So it depends upon your requirement. If actually you need all 4 to 4 advantages, then better to go for hash table object. And if you want to go for only 3 advantages, you have to go for array list class. So let's have a look with hash table object, how hash table class is helping us to introduce this 4th advantages as well. What do you mean by key value pair? How to use it? So coming to, okay, if somebody says I want to display the values extremely at the end of the program, I want to display the remaining values. It is exactly like our array display for each loop. So for each, or you can give one heading first. Remaining values in the array list are so and so. So console dot write line remaining values in array list after removal of 76 are all right. So what we'll do for each object. Why object? Because object type special feature. Object type can store any data. Integer, string, double, decimal, any data. So imagine this 60 is not 60, it is somebody's name. Who knows? Chance is there, isn't it? Array may not allow, but your collections will allow. So who knows, maybe 76 is his roll number, 90 is his marks, and Amit is his name. All right. So I cannot assure that when I'll fetch the data from collection, everything will be integer or everything will be string or everything will be decimal, I cannot assure that. But in array, you can say that, because that is a disadvantages in array. If you declare integer, only integer. If you declare decimal, only decimal. If you have no idea, then at the beginning itself, you declare it as object type. Like that, some restrictions are there. But here, you have no restriction. It says, no worry, you just create the object. Later on, you can store any variety of the data, no problem. So here, that's why while fetching the data, I will say object X in, or object each value in what? Student info. Just like array only. If it could be array also, you could have displayed like this. So console dot write line each val. Make sense? So this is going to display, up to our understanding, 90 and Amit without any gap. Again repeating, 90 and Amit consecutively, one after another, without any gap, even though I removed that 76. That is what beauty of this collection comparing to array. So let's execute once more. Control F5. Okay, so first it says before removal. Oh, I have not changed that sentence. Both the sentences before only. I should have changed that to after removal. So before removal 3, after removal of one value it become 2. Total count is 2, and remaining values are 90 and Amit without any gap in between 90 and Amit. That means they have nicely managed the memory without wasting any location. So let me change this sentence to after removal. Okay, so this is how one array list works. Now same thing I will copy paste, and what I will do, instead of array list, I will make it hash table. Okay, either copy paste or type it from the scratch, no problem. But instead of array list, we are going to use something called hash table. Using hash table or so. Function name should be little meaningful. That's why I'm saying using underscore hash table. If you want to give some summary, you can give it here. Above array list object still manipulate data through index. But there is something called key value pair. Okay, key value pair means something like role 20, name Amit, marks so and so. So like that you can have also. So hash table indicates if you want to put some key versus value. Let me take you to Excel sheet before implementing practically. Somebody says my roll number is 1, my name is this. My roll number is 2, somebody's name is this. My roll number is 3, somebody's name is this. If you allow me only to store this column, then array list is fine. Only this column. Array list is fine. But conditions apply. Array list will automatically allocate 0, 1, and 2. And it will manipulate the data also as per this 0, 1, 2. If I made it descending order, then Maybe Sumit came up, Amit came down. That time you don't ask me that index will be same. That is what the disadvantage in array, but array list also. But if you have key value pair, imagine Amit's roll number is 1007, Sumit's roll number is 1009, and Kunal's roll number is 1000. Now you say, please provide his roll number also and his name also. Name should be as a value, roll number should be as a key. If you provide that, and by chance somebody is making ascending, descending, deleting one data, anything happens, we don't care, because no more dependency on 0, 1 and 2. If by chance Sumit is being deleted, then it will do something like this. Suppose Sumit is deleted like this, then automatically that Kunal will come to position number 1. So index got changed. Previously Kunal's index was 2, now it become 1. But what about key? This is called key and this is called value. So I don't bother if his index has got changed. As long as it is there in the collection, his key is 1000, that is for sure. So blindly I can say any manipulation do based on the key. That is the good thing about hash table. So it takes some key as well as value instead of only value. When you don't provide value, that means when you use array list, since you don't provide any key, that's why it automatically took something called indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have that dependency called data manipulation dependency. So if you are manipulating some the data, then index got changed. But here key will never change based on the allocation, deallocation, deleting, replacing, ascending, descending, whatever you want to do it, but your key will never change for a value. When value is going up, key will also go up. When value is coming down, key will also come down. That is the good thing about hash table. So can I say array is better than variable? Array list is better than array. Hash table is better than array list. Okay, not from all the regards, but some points are there which is better definitely. Variable was saying, if you give me second value, I will override the first value. You say, no, I want both of them. Go for array. Now array says, if you are declaring integer, please give me integer only always. You cannot give me one value integer, one value this, one value that, and you cannot expect all these 4 points from me because these are all disadvantages inside array. Then you went for array list suddenly. Now you saw array list is saying, I cannot help you from the key value pair point of view. Okay, out of 3 contrast points between array and collections, unfortunately, I don't provide the 4th one. So you said, if I want this one also, then I should go for hash table. So slowly you are going better, you can say, generation wise. So, but both of these class type, we have a couple of more classes also. They are under the namespace called collection, system.collection. Okay, they are all not primitive data type, they are all classes. So if you press F10, go to array list and press F12. F12 means go to definition. So if you come to F12, can you see? It's a class actually. Who did it? We didn't type these things. It has been offered by Microsoft. Okay. So various interfaces has been implemented in this. Now you will not be surprised by seeing these interfaces implemented. easily you should understand what they might have thought so that they implemented these interfaces. Every interface will have various signature of the function, right? Declaration of the function. So left side, which interface you will take, and right side, if you are instantiating array list, then only those many functions will be accessible. So I don't want to go to again interface chapter, but okay, I just wanted to say it is a predefined class called array list. Similarly, another predefined class called hash table is there. So let's create the object of hash table. So hash table T smaller, not capital, only H capital. It's a single word actually, hash table. So hash table, let's say, I will say HS names. You know, naming convention totally depending upon you. I wanted to store this Amit, Kunal, etc. That's why I named it as HS names. Suppose you want to store name as well as his marks as well as his examination result, etc. Then you can name it as student also, no problem. HS student. I said HS names equal to new hash table, because after all it's a class only, right? So creation of the object always like this only, class name obj equal to new class name. So why, if you'll go to F12 in hash table also, so many interface has been implemented. You can ask a question, sir, why don't you do something like any one of this, let's say iDictionary. Why don't you do iDictionary obj equal to new iDictionary like this? You only taught us in interface chapter that left side always interface name and right side class name. So why don't you do something like this? Why you say hash table obj equal to new hash table? Who can tell me the difference, guys? If I will write this line and I will write in other way this line, technical difference, who can justify in a single line?
Because sir, hash table is a base class.
Yeah, carry on. What is hash table? Who said hash table is base class? In this case, in this, do you see hash table is a base class?
No, sir, in first sentence. This hash table is a base class. iDictionary is in heritage.
iDictionary is an interface. Hash table is a class. Hash table has implemented the interface iDictionary. This is not collection topic question. This is previous topic question. I just wanted to cross check what you have understood in previous chapter. So if I will say here iDictionary or iCollection, any I, so many I are there, right? Here, can you see? So say iSerialize, okay? I will show you what is there inside iSerialize. Can you see? One declaration of one function called get object data. Now, if you'll go to again that hash table and see one more interface, say iDictionary F12, you can see some couple of functions are there declared here. That is what interface always stored, like only declaration part, not the body part. So if I'll write like this and I will write like this, what is the technical difference? Anybody else?
So by using the interface, we can refer to the methods only for the interface.
Correct. So whichever is common between both of them, only that will be able to access by HS names. Okay. But when I say reference of the same class name and instance of the same class name, that time left side and right side, you are getting all the functions common. So all the functions will be allocated to this. Okay. So when I'm asking in the specific chapter, you are saying, yes, understood, understood, understood. And when time comes to ask some question, all are gone. Okay, you should answer when the required, concept comes into picture. So, all right. Anyway, that is not a part of this chapter, but I wanted to just cross-check whether you understood interface properly. Interface, I will never leave. Interface is that important. Whenever I will get a chance, I will ask a question from interface. So, whatever depth knowledge you can take in interface, as I've told you, every day, at least 2 hours you will work with interface out of your 8 hours duty. Okay, when you will be a proper developer in development lifecycle. So that important it is. Okay, so coming to this, if I will say HS names dot add, let me take it as HS names again. So dot add, you can see it will suggest me 2 arguments. It will say first argument is object key, second argument is object value. That means any type key, any type value. So I said roll number called 1000, what is that? 1007 for Amit, 1000 for Kunal. So 1007, comma, Amit. Have a look. My value is of string type, but my key is of integer type. Absolutely fine. Because it is object, comma, object. Any type key, any type value you can take, but it should be meaningful. Like we said, key will be all students' roll number and value will be each student's name against those roll number. Makes sense? Somebody will say here XYZ, here ABC. You only will forget what key, what value. That's why I gave roll number is uniquely identifying each guy. Maybe both the guys are Amit and Amit in the class. So I don't want to trust on the value. I want to give something extra called key. So 1007 become the key and Amit become value. Similarly, HS names. Let's say one more thing. I want to say 1000 is the key and Kunal is the value. Make sense? Key, comma, value. But in array list object, only value. That's why forcefully it was asking us to depend upon indexes only. But here it will say, you don't need to bother about index. Whether 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, you don't need to bother because you cannot trust it. Time to time it may change. All right. So after that, you have to again do all these manipulations. Like if you want to say before removal, how many, after removal, how many, and so on. So you can do that. We will continue this, guys, next class because I have another meeting. So I have to stop it here. Hash table will continue next class, guys.